Hey, once again, don't care if this video is dark. I'm so fucking tired. This is gonna be the most tired I am during a review. I still talk fast because when I'm driving, I'm energetic. Cause I'm like, I know I gotta stay energetic because I'm fucking locked in. I don't want to crash. So, while I will be talking on the road again, and it's gonna be dark because I'm not turning my fucking bright light on while I drive. I'm not doing that. Um, just know that I'm doing this because this is a film I actually want to talk about. I wanted to talk about Problemista, but the reason I did that in my last video was Godzilla and Problemista is the only other films I've seen since then are Monkey Man, which I saw at South by Southwest. I reviewed it in that video, and I was like, I love Monkey Man. I've given enough. I don't really feel like I need to talk about it. You want thoughts here? Monkey Man was great. Then I saw, what the fuck else have I seen since then? I saw like one more movie in theaters since then. I've already forgot, and it was also, I saw The First Omen. I didn't review that. First Omen, honestly, was really good. It's like a better version of Immaculate, in my opinion. I thought it was very well made, pretty fucking damn intense. I don't think it's perfect. I also think it's like maybe 15 minutes too long, especially because once you get to the last 40 minutes and you obviously know what's happening and you know it's a prequel, you know exactly where. If you knew anything about the original Omen, which people who are going to go see The First Omen, I'm sure at least 50% of the audience who went to go see the film at least knew what the Omen was and knows what it's about. So the last 40 minutes, while like still pretty well done, it's just like I know. So tension has kind of dropped out the roof because I know exactly what's happening and exactly what's going to go on, pretty much. So it didn't really do much. But that being said, we're talking about a different film. I'm 2 fucking minutes in, and we're talking about a different horror movie, a more original one, something different that you don't get to experience a lot in theaters when it comes to horror movies, but I think the Radio Silence guys are consistently doing it pretty well, even though, 2 of their films are franchise films, Scream 5 and 6, but if you've seen Ready or Not and you like Ready or Not, no fucking doubt you're going to like Abigail. It's a very fun, enjoyable time at the movies. Like, just no doubt. It's a really fun time at the movies. Abigail, here's the thing. I have to review the film in some way that I would say is with spoilers, but it's not really. It's that the trailer gives away a huge chunk of the movie. I was amazed. I was like, I don't know anyone who's going to see this film personally who doesn't already know what the fuck it's about. So, like, last minute, a friend who I stayed with for South by Southwest, Angia, she came into town. She was like, anyone want to see a movie tonight? And I was like, holy shit, coincidentally, me and my friends are already going to go see Abigail. So I was like, join us for Abigail. She had not seen the trailer. Amazement to avoid the trailer or descriptions or anything about this fucking movie is pretty great because I've seen the trailer at least 20 times in theaters at this point, and I wouldn't have avoided looking up a description at some point. I would have came across and been like, what is Abigail about? Because it's Radio Silence, guys. If I somehow avoided the trailer, I'm sure I would have found out what it was because it's Radio Silence, and I love Ready or Not. I love their last 2 Scream films. I love their VHS segment at the end of VHS. I was fucking sat for this, you know what I mean? So I'm going to give away the basic premise of it. Just very simple. I'm not going to give away any other spoilers that the trailer doesn't already tell you, because it tells you quite a bit. But I'm going to give it away, so just be used to that. If you don't know what the fuck this movie's about, I would say definitely go see it. If you like Ready or Not especially, or even if you haven't seen Ready or Not and you're just a campy horror fan, you like that kind of movie, this is going to be right up your fucking alley. It's incredibly entertaining, it's fast-paced, it's got a really good ensemble, good practical effects, it moves pretty thoroughly and fast. It's not too long, it's just like the right amount of runtime, I would say. Yeah, check it out. Why the fuck wouldn't you? 3, 2, 1 spoilers. Abigail's a vampire, a ballerina vampire at that. They kidnap this little girl, this giant group that has Angus Cloud, Kevin Durant, Melissa Barrera, Catherine Newton, Dan Stevens. I'm literally blanking on everyone's name right now. It's a giant ensemble heist film, and they kidnap a little girl. So what comes with kidnapping a little girl? It's like, okay, now they're like wondering who the dad is, because someone gets killed early in the film. So they're like, who is this person's father? Are we going to be in trouble? What's going on? And then, as you see in the trailer, it turns out it's Abigail. She's a vampire. She's the one killing the people, and then they have to survive in this, like, haunted house-looking area where Abigail kills people. And you know what? Fuck it. It's just really fun. I think that there's so much here that can easily be enjoyed by anybody. I think even if you're not a horror fan, other than the gore, because there's some pretty good gore and violence. Like, if you're really squeamish to violence, you're not going to be able to probably handle it, but if you're, like, a little easy on, like, if you can go watch a John Wick movie, you can definitely watch fucking Abigail, is what I'm trying to say. In terms of horror, it's not that scary. It's honestly a really good gateway horror film for probably like 13 or 14-year-olds who are starting to get into it, because it is fun. It lets you know that, hey, horror is not just having absolute fucking nightmares and the scariest shit that your parents tell you, hey, don't watch those movies. It's so spooky, right? No, it's not like that. It's a very fun film. You can have a lot of fun films. I even say that there are horror films, traumatic horror films, and then cute horror films. This goes into the cute range. I know it's not like ideally cute, but there's just something so joyful about it. You have fun watching criminals get murdered, and you have fun watching Abigail, this little girl, do ballet dances while she like murders them in such ridiculous ways. You know, it's that kind of fun and that kind of territory that I think everyone will enjoy. And no doubt you're gonna love this ensemble. Standout of the movie, logically, like in terms of performances, the three best standouts just on a quality performance alone would be Melissa Barrera, who plays the lead character of Joey, Dan Stevens, who plays one of the other, I mean, it's an ensemble film, so everyone's kind of a lead in some way. For the time that they're on screen, they're all on screen entirely. You would say Melissa Barrera is the actual lead, but Dan Stevens plays Frank, who is really fucking good in this film too, and then Alicia Weir, who plays the titled vampire ballerina Abigail. Fucking great. For like a little kid performance, she's British, her American accent never slips through. It's really fucking good. She knows how to play this shy little girl. She knows how to play the eccentrically crazy, I'm gonna eat your fucking face vampire. And it's like, she plays it so well. Like, she can do the dance scenes well. She's doing a lot of her own stunts and wire work. She's really funny. She knows how to deliver the comedic lines. She knows how to play the scared little girl. I look like I'm dying because I'm in like a red shine. That's how I would feel if I saw Abigail. I'd be like, oh my fucking god. Yeah, she does fucking great. Like, honestly, the logical standout would be to say Alicia Weir steals the fucking movie from everyone because she's the title character Abigail. It's like when you go see Megan, who the hell is stealing the show? It's Megan, obviously. Mathregan, if you're calling it the Chucky way. Fuck you, Mathregan. But no, Abigail, hopefully after this film, as long as people enjoy it, which my crowd was laughing and creeped out for what it wasn't a sold out crowd. Nowhere near me is this movie selling out. I don't think it's gonna do like fucking top tier numbers in the box office. This isn't the new It or something where it makes like $700 million. So there's only like 20 people in every theater when I checked near me. So there was about that many people, but everyone seemed to enjoy it. My friend group was definitely laughing the most. I think because we knew what kind of film we were 100% in for, and I know the kind of films that my friend group tends to like, and I knew that for sure for me, Gabriel, and my friend Saul, I knew this would be right up our alley. My friend Jacob, I'm not sure 100% knew that it was like a comedy horror, and he seemed to really have fun with it. And even Angie, who knew nothing about the film, quite enjoyed it. So there's a lot to it to just really enjoy. It's a very simple premise taken to such a grand scale because the Radio Silence guys, Tyler Gillette and Matt Bentinelli Open, they just really know what the fuck they're doing. They know how to give a good, genuine crowd pleaser. Where they tell you what's happening, yes. They kind of have to tell you to your face, because otherwise you're going to be like kind of confused. I can't imagine anyone would be like super confused. It's not like a super confusing film, because a lot of it is spelled out to you through exposition, but not boring exposition. It is not like an absolute fucking headache of like dialogue to get through, where you have to deal with like hour and 30 minutes of exposition and then there's only like your few moments of fun. It's not a Godzilla X-Kong situation where you're with boring human characters giving you exposition about everything that you with your fucking eyes can clearly see happening, so they have to explain it to you. Speaking of Godzilla X-Kong, Dan Stevens was like one of the best standouts in terms of the human characters. Stand out in that. I saw Cuckoo early at South by Southwest. He's fucking great in that. One of the standouts for sure. And I mentioned he's like illogically by performance-wise the standout in this. He's really good in this. To touch on the other people in the ensemble, my favorite two characters, the two that I like had the most pull towards, where I was just like, I fucking love you guys in this film. Like, yeah, performance-wise, they're not the leads. They're not given a lot. They're given a character basis, the one that you basically have to follow, and they do it so fucking well. That is Kevin Durand as, I believe his name was Peter, and then you have what's her name, Catherine Newton as Sammy. I thought those two were just scene stealers in terms of the laughs you get from the film. And for what I got from the film, they got the most laughs out of me, for sure. Anytime their interactions are on screen, I'm like, they're so adorable. Like, I really love these two characters. Like, Peter's the big muscle guy, who's like, he's kind of an idiot, but he's the muscle of the group, but he doesn't like to be treated like that he's an idiot. He doesn't like that kind of encounter. And then Sammy plays, like, the tech hacker, who's just your kind of, like, typical teenage girl runaway. So people, kind of treat her like you're the little kid. I mean, yeah, you can do fucking great stuff. You know how to hack, and you're a runaway. Like, she feels like the teenage, angsty girl, but she's also like really adorable and really nice when she can be in certain situations. And her performance is so adorable. Those two are just so. They were the most like lighthearted characters in this film that like ideally would be if you didn't have those two, yeah, the film could still have humor and fun to it, but it would mostly feel really dark and treacherous while you're going through it. But because of them two, I think you find it to be so uplifting and fun, especially when they're on screen. They got a lot of laughs from me and the audience. Definitely the most laughs of the film. In my opinion, my favorite character was probably Kevin Durant's Peter. He was just so lovable. I wanted to give him like a hug. Like, it was adorable. Angus Cloud is also in this film, who, of course, tragically passed away last year at a really young age. I believe like 24, 25. That's fucking tragic, honestly. And this film was dedicated to him, as it should be, right at the ending of the film. Apparently he had passed away only a few weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks after filming his whole role for this film. So, I don't know. It's really sad. I don't want to talk about it, but he's good. He's really funny. For the role he has in the film, he plays the character well. He's kind of playing his character from Euphoria with like a little bit more of a goofy, lighthearted attitude. He's playing that role if he made it like more humorous, that kind of character. He does a good job at it. I found him to be charming and fun for when he was on screen. He was really enjoyable. He had some fun chemistry moments with Catherine Newton that I really enjoyed. Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think of the other actor's name because he's a smaller actor in the film, but he plays the groups. This heist group all have their own specialties. He's the sniper of the group. He kind of has a lot of interactive scenes with Melissa Barrera in the film. He was the only one to me who didn't stand out. He easily got the least characterization, the least humor. Like, you definitely like find yourself attached to him. He seems like the nicest guy probably there, who just has not much to do, which can kind of be a bummer. But I almost feel like that's like the point, is that he's not supposed to have much to do as a character. I don't know. He was fine. I definitely didn't hate him. He's not bad in the film. He's not great in the film either. He was just the only one who I don't think had a standout moment where I was like, this is like so much fun for your character and really getting to play with that. It was just a very simple role of kind of the nice guy to comfort our lead character, who clearly has the most like dramatic resolution to go throughout the film. Joey, Melissa Barrera, I'm talking about. But yeah, I love the ensemble. I love the production and practical effects. Like, practical effects, there's some really cool shit that they do here with the wire work, with like how the vampire moves. I thought the mouth effects looked really great. I know they were like practical teeth on each of them, but the way it looked so fucking cool and grisly. It was a little different than what I've seen from most vampire films. I've seen a lot of vampire films. It looked really cool here. Also, like, just once, I'm not going to say in what context, but fucking, they love their blood cannons. I was like, there are multiple, like, effects of blood and kills in this movie where I'm like, ready or not, when everyone explodes at the end, they do this exact kind of shit, and they do it here too, and it works so goddamn good. And I found it to be just incredibly enjoyable. If I had a complaints with the film, it is pretty predictable. I mean, the big twist premise of Abigail being a vampire is literally told to you in the trailer, but beyond that, there are a few other like extra twisted turns, especially in the last 30 minutes when they quickly try to sum out a lot of stuff up. And I was like, yeah, this is like about what I expected from any of these twisted turns. These are the exact things I kind of thought were going to happen, and it's fine that they did. It's just they were very. I felt it was pretty obvious what was going to happen at a time, especially near the ending. But other than the last like 30 minutes that had that ability, I actually felt like tension filled throughout it. Like, I actually felt like some kind of sense of tension with all the characters watching the film. Because I honestly didn't know, like, in some ways I was like, are some of these characters actually going to die? Like, I thought maybe this would be a rare film where maybe, hey, you know, like, maybe it is just going to be a final girl, or maybe all of them can make it out. And that's the interesting thing. You don't really know when watching it. You could probably sense that it would be a final girl movie, as 90% of horror movies are. But I don't know. For like a lot of points in the movie, I was like, I think that some of these characters could make it out or have different arcs than I'm expecting. And a few do. That's where some of those added twists in the like last 30 minutes really come into play, what I'm talking about. So yeah, really good practical effects, great production design, extremely entertaining film, I thought. I'm going to go see it again with my dad on Sunday, and I think he's going to really enjoy it. He's going to find it ridiculous, but I think he's going to be really into it for how ridiculous it is. I want to meet Kevin Durant now because they just announced him today for Texas Frightmare. I live in the area. I'm going to Texas Frightmare. I was like, really, I kind of just want to meet him because I just saw the film and I'm like, he seems so nice. I want to meet him. Even though I could meet Matthew Lillard, I don't have the money for that. Even though I could meet like a lot of other people, I kind of just want to meet Kevin Durant like right now, and it's his first convention ever, so that would be pretty cool to go to. We'll see. Yeah, really enjoyed Abigail. I would say if you're a fan of Ready or Not, for sure, definitely go check those out then. If you weren't a fan of Ready or Not, hey, maybe still give it a chance. Maybe you'll find the campy vibe and the more like horror comedy vibe that aims like pretty equal on horror and comedy. Maybe you'll find it works better here because it is a grand vampire film and it's not like kind of a made up idea of, I don't know, gotta play hide and seek for laughs. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Don't really have much else to say. I guess that's it. Yeah, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So, 8 out of 10. What that would correlate to. I thought it was really great. It's right in my alley. Can't wait to see it again. Oh, and Giancarlo Esposito. Pretty small role. You kind of saw a bit of it in the trailer. He was good too. Who doesn't love Giancarlo Esposito? That guy's the fucking goat. It was awesome that he was even in this. So yeah, 8 out of 10. Abigail. Go check it out. My next review, if I feel like doing it, will be for The Ministry of a Gentlemanly Warfare and Sasquatch Sunset. Those are what I'm seeing next. So stay tuned. Maybe you'll get a review for one of those. I probably will at least review Sasquatch Sunset. I am interested in seeing that and talking about how I feel about that one because it looks pretty fucking weird. And that's it. Bye.